Hey guys, Jake and James here from Flawless Films. We haven't done a vloggy, reviewy type video in a while, but this is a very
serious matter.
Yes, it has to be done. We can't avoid talking about this subject. So, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, has been out for an entire day and a half, maybe. We've both seen it now, and where do we begin? How do we start?
It sucks. It doesn't completely suck. That might be unfair, but there's a lot of bits that do suck.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking forward to this movie so much since The Force Awakens, which I loved. I saw, to put it in perspective, I saw The Force Awakens 6 times in the cinema and many more times on Blu-ray. Absolutely loved everything about that movie. I loved the fact that it had loads of questions left to be answered leading on to this one. And the biggest disappointment to me is those questions were answered so underwhelmingly that it was massively disappointing.
Yeah, I found like they were just massive cop-outs to pretty much every big decision they had to make.
Yeah. Okay, going into more detail, let's talk about...
Where do we start?
Let's talk about what we liked about the movie.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, and then we can rant about what we didn't like.
Okay.
So, there is going to be spoilers from here on out. So if you haven't seen the movie, turn this off now. That's your warning. Okay, Yoda's back.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and I really loved they used the puppet.
Yeah.
They didn't fully CG him.
I think the first time they showed him, I think he was CG, because I remember looking at him and thinking, whoa, it's like he's from the Clone Wars series. And I was like, not cool. Yeah. But then during the close-ups, he was puppet Yoda, and I liked it.
And they kept him as the way he was in the originals.
Laughing and joking. And
the kind of slightly crazy Yoda.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Really happy with that. Don't like the fact that he used lightning, because if he can have powers that affect the current world, then why don't him and the other Force Ghosts just team up and take on the First Order? Mm-hmm. Kind of a Lord of the Rings Eagles situation when you think of it like that. I'm sure people will come up with ideas like, oh no, like you said the same thing, like, oh, they can't do that. But,
they're going to say that they won't interfere with the living.
But they just did, so shut up. I thought that was a poor filmmaking decision. They didn't think that through properly. But apart from that, very happy to see Yoda.
Yep. Generally, the performances were good.
Performances were fantastic.
Just the directions they were given worked.
Yeah, I thought Mark Hamill was brilliant in his performance for the script that he was given.
Yep.
Just the script that he was given wasn't very good.
Yep. Adam Driver was awesome.
Yeah, he's just a phenomenal actor. No matter what he does, whether he's doing like comedy and Girls or what's that film with Justin Timberlake and
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah. Brilliant. Or whether he's doing something very serious like Kylo Ren. Amazing actor.
Yep.
What else was good? The visuals. Sorry. The visuals were mind-blowing.
Spectacular. So, certain shots, you just looked and went, that's a poster, that.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
Like when you have the Luke versus Kylo Ren face-off on the Salt planet, that I was just like, oh my god. And then when Rey and Kylo Ren team up, and it went slow-mo in Snoke's red room.
When the woman went light speed through the other ship, sacrificed herself, just that shot, seeing it being destroyed was amazing.
And the sound as well. Sound design was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I almost lost myself in this amazing spectacle of an epic movie, because it was it was huge and it was amazing and mind-blowing.
It was basically one of those films, when you walked out of the cinema you were like, that was good, like that was amazing, I enjoyed my experience, and then you kind of sit down another hour or two to think about it and you suddenly go, oh wait a minute, there's that and that and that, and they just add up a bit too much.
Yeah, they did a very good job making it a big, epic, memorable film, and it's very discussion worthy, I think. But the discussion worthy points are, in my opinion especially, quite negative. So what are the good points have you got? Performances, visuals.
I liked Poe at the beginning, and then after the first act he kind of went away, but I do like Poe as a character, and Finn, but what they did with him I didn't like, so that was kind of like a 50-50 one. There was a lot of funny moments, I think, if anything, too many. But the funny moments were funny, so I suppose that's a positive. And BB-8 is completely taken over from R2-D2.
Yeah.
Because R2-D2 woke up at the end of Force Awakens, you thought he might have been a bit more involved in it, but he was...
He was a new droid. He got a little bit carried away with him, though, like driving a bloody... what's it called? Kind of Imperial Walker thing.
Yeah, but when that happened, I was expecting that to be the Del Toro character, doing that Lando come back to the good side, save him kind of moment, and then it was BB-8 again. And to be fair, Finn's face when he sees it is pretty much what a lot of the audience probably thinking. Just a bit like, really?
What?
Again?
Seriously?
Like, what can't he do?
Yeah. But like when they first introduced Luke, Rey hands him Anakin/Luke's lightsaber, and he just looks at it and it's really serious, and he throws it over his shoulder. Brilliant introduction to Luke Skywalker, the new Luke Skywalker. That set this version of Luke, because it's not the same Luke, I'm sorry, I don't care what you say, he's a different character. That introduced him well. I did enjoy that. And I enjoyed other moments of Luke. No, I enjoyed moments of Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Like his wink at 3PO, his little brush of his shoulder after all the
Blast of fire.
And little moments like that were great, but they felt like they came from Mark Hamill, not from Luke.
And then he sucked some titty milk.
Oh man. Yeah. Should that segue on to what we found bad about this movie?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Start it now.
The negative. Right, we'll start with
Snoke.
I'll start with Snoke.
Built up to be such an important, who is this amazing, badass, lives in the dark character who can control people with just words, and supposedly, like you told me, defeated Vader and the Emperor.
No, he could.
He could have.
He's powerful enough.
Could have defeated Vader and the Emperor, and he's just gone. Like,
that was one of the probably the most discussed question after watching The Force Awakens is who is Snoke, and there were probably hundreds of fan theories. Is he Plagueis? Is he Vader reborn? Is he Jar Jar Binks?
And every theory was better than the actual.
Yeah. So he was just some guy that's really powerful, but doesn't really matter, and they're not going to bother explaining anything more about him.
Nope.
They'd have a lot of work to do to undo that shit decision in Episode 9. I don't know. I mean, Abrams is directing it. The guy's a brilliant director, in my opinion, and did a great job with Force Awakens. But to fix that is a big task.
Yeah.
So yeah, Snoke. What a waste of a very, very potentially good character. Next.
Well, going on from one of the other big questions that The Force Awakens left us with, who are Rey's parents?
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Now the thing with this is this could be turned around in Episode 9. They could be like, Kylo Ren was lying at the appearance of these people. Hopefully the Kenobis or Obi-Wan.
But they had the opportunity to, so basically when Snoke was, what the fuck, I can't think of it.
Dead?
No, when he's, okay. So basically when Snoke is interrogating Rey, the perfect opportunity then for him to mention some kind, because that great Andy Serkis voice could have,
like Kenobi,
or
something like that.
That would have been amazing, and the timing could have been perfect, but there was nothing. So now I don't feel like there's going to be a great situation to find out who her parents are if they have lied about it.
Yeah.
So
if Kylo Ren was lying, and how can you create an opportunity to reveal it in such a good way as you had in this one? And I feel like no matter, even if they turn around now and say, actually, Obi-Wan is Rey's father, it's not going to be as exciting as it could have been if it was revealed in this movie. That is a huge letdown. So either way, if her parents are nobodies, huge cop-out, huge disappointment, waste of time being excited for the answer over the last couple of years. And if they do turn around, it's still a mistake, if they change their minds. So yeah, that's another disappointment. So we got 2. Number 3, Leia flying through space was one of the stupidest moments I've seen in cinema history. What the... I wanted to walk out the cinema. She flies out into space. I was thinking, it's a nice end to Carrie Fisher. That's a good tribute. It's fitting. And then her finger moved, and I was like, no, please don't. Please don't. She would be dead instantly. She's in space. And then she flies through space, like... Exactly.
Speechless.
Every single I know a lot of big Star Wars fans, us included, and every single person I've spoken to about this movie and this moment in particular, they have just rolled their eyes or hung their head in shame. It
was generally just Leia. From that moment she was blown out of the ship. From then on, nothing good.
They kept her alive, and then, even though which is pointless because R.I.P. Carrie Fisher is no longer with us, which is sad, but you may as well take the opportunity to write her out the story in a nice way like that. Either that or have her as the one sacrificing herself and travelling to lightspeed through Snoke's ship.
Yeah.
Either one of those two options are far better than having her fly through space and then being completely irrelevant for the rest of the film. She does nothing. She has no importance to the story.
Side note now, with the whole thing that they keep Poe in the dark for the whole plans, I didn't understand why they wouldn't have told Poe in the first place.
No.
Because if he's the one who's trying to stop them doing this. He could basically get them all killed. Yet they don't tell him, well, look, we have actually got a plan. Like, that made no sense at all. And the woman claims, oh, it's what Leia would have done, blah, blah, blah. No. If he's going to go sacrifice men, you go, well, actually, no, there is a plan.
Yeah, but I think he found out the plan and still disagreed with it, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
No, but when he said, oh, no, when Leia comes back and she tells him, he's like, oh, no, that could work. And then they do it, then they carry on with it. And it's just, it was one of those that it felt like they purposely just left out information to make something happen, that didn't make sense.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, there you go. The whole Leia thing, stupid. Segueing on to that, Poe. Now, if you don't know, he was supposed to have been written out and killed in The Force Awakens, but that's something to do with Oscar Isaac. Was that his name? Yeah. Yeah. They changed their minds and decided to keep him on. It was very apparent that he was supposed to be killed off because his part in the movie felt very forced. No pun intended. It felt like they had a story and then they went, oh yes, we kept Poe alive, we need to wedge him in there and wedge him in there and we'll put some more Poe here, and there was just no need for it. Apart from his epic space battle, he was just irrelevant and a hindrance, realistically. So that annoyed me. And when you have Poe and Finn, who, if you strip them both down to like their bare core of a character, they're the same character. They're the new, slightly funny Han Solo type character. They even both dress kind of similar to Han Solo, if you noticed. Like, I can't remember if it was Poe or Finn was wearing like the same shirt, like the white shirt with the.
He's wearing Han Solo's shirt with
a leather jacket. Yeah. So they're very very Han Solo type new generation characters, and you don't need two of them.
But the thing is though, if you're going to have them both, you basically need to make them like a pairing. Like they need to be together.
Yeah.
Like then they could go off each other, and it could work. Kind of like I know it didn't quite go across for him, but Harry Potter, Fred and George, when you like Merry and Pippin in Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. They could have been that if they kept them together, but instead they kept the two characters and split them apart anyway.
And it felt like because they had two characters that are at their core quite similar, doing two very different things, both of those things felt underwhelming. Where if they put all those tasks onto one character, it would have been a lot better. Like Finn is a really cool character and has the potential to. I love John Boyega. He's fantastic, and he's the best option for the comedy in my opinion. But his role in the film was just crap. It was stupid. Such like when they went to that casino planet, it just felt like such a waste of my time. The planet and its design was so dull and boring. The whole casino scene, I just didn't care for. Did you?
No. Well,
James mentioned earlier, it was a fantastic opportunity to bring back Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Why didn't they do that?
Yeah, because when I was watching it, I thought, they said like they're going to this epic gambling place where all the rich people go, and I'd heard that there was a cameo from an old character coming back. Obviously, at that point, I didn't know it was Yoda. So I thought, it's going to be Lando. He's going to be here, and then they're going to use Lando to be this epic, basically going back to what he was in the old films. No.
And it would have been really cool. Instead of having Benicio del Toro, who was an utter waste of time, why bring in a new character from a pretty good actor? I don't mind Del Toro, he's alright.
I don't like him.
No, he's okay. But his character, I don't like his speech, it was stupid. Everything about that character was a waste of time. They could have had Lando come back, at least then it pleases the fans, like, oh, Lando's back. And have him have that role of helping them escape. Yeah. That would have been so much better.
Then it would have felt like there was a reason for going to that planet.
Yeah. And then Lando could play a part in the next film. That would have been cool. But no, they just had a stupid thing. Let's go and find this only person that can. Was he the code breaker?
Yeah.
The only person in the world that can do this, apart from Maz Kanata, apparently. And then they go to this planet.
He gets stuck into a jail cell. Which
happened to find another person that can do it. How convenient! Oh my lord, it was just so stupid.
It's like I can accept convenience in a lot of films, like the fact those things happen. That's just how film works. But that was just one step too far.
Yeah, and that's Star Wars.
I didn't really get the Maz. What the hell was going on with Maz when they were trying to talk to her?
I don't know.
Like it looked like it would be more interesting to see that than watch them trying to ask her questions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Another cop out. Okay, moving on. I could go on for this for hours.
Should we go on for Luke?
Yeah, we'll go for Luke. I think this is the main thing. Luke's character in general
is not Luke's character.
It's not Luke Skywalker. Let's start this way, right? So the last time we see Luke is in Return of the Jedi. What's he doing? He is risking his life to go and face Vader. Why? Because he senses a little bit of good in him. Yeah, so he's willing to risk his life just to try and save Vader, bring him back to the light. Whereas now, new Luke, he's willing to kill a kid, his nephew, because he senses a bit of evil in him. That is not Luke Skywalker. That is not the hero that we know.
No.
How did that happen? And then not only that, after, he decides not to kill Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren sees it the wrong way and blah, blah, blah. So then Luke goes, actually, I'm just going to take off and avoid all responsibility and let everyone else deal with my mistake. That's not Luke Skywalker.
No.
At all. Look at him in the originals. He risked his life before he even had proper Jedi training. Lost his hand, didn't care. Had some training from Yoda, went back.
I'm actually surprised no one lost a hand.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, you could have understood it if Vader never came back to the light at the last moment. But the fact that Luke saw his father come back to the light at the last minute, that would just...
Bearing in mind, his father, Vader, was one of the most evil people ever. He killed kids, he killed hundreds or maybe thousands of Jedi, and he was... And he was super, super evil. But the chance that Kylo Ren might be turning a bit evil...
That an angsty teenager might be a bit evil.
He's like, gotta kill him. I don't care if he doesn't, he still had that intention, and that is not Luke Skywalker. You can defend that all you want, argue with me on the comments, it's not Luke Skywalker. And then, throughout the entire film, not only is he a crazy old man in a way, like a broken old man, and yes, you can be like, oh, it's because his decision has haunted him. Well, he has the opportunity to change his decision and go and help them, which he doesn't. I don't care if you say, yes, he did, he made a ghost of himself. Oh, come on. So basically, he's a massive pussy throughout the entire film, and then even dies a pussy because he doesn't physically go and help them. He's too scared, so he conjures up this Force ghost instead. And then they kill him anyway. That's, again, another cop-out. Why not have Luke, take him to that salt planet, have him face Kylo Ren, let him actually be a badass, instead of making us think he's a badass, when really, he's just making everybody imagine him. And then he dies of what, exhaustion? Fucking so stupid. The things that he did in that fight, if that was real, we all would have remembered Luke as an amazing hero who died, epically.
Yeah.
And we would have been happy. I would have been happy anyway. Seeing Luke die as a badass and as a hero would have been great. Not seeing him be too scared to go and face him himself, so he conjures up a Force ghost, and then dies of exhaustion. Cop out. They didn't want to make it seem too similar to old Ben by being the old guy that sacrifices himself. I think that's why they went, we'll let him give himself.
But he didn't have to sacrifice himself, though. That was the thing. The thing with old Ben is he did it on purpose. He purposely said, I've got to be struck down so I can become more powerful, kind of thing. And
it was also the perfect opportunity, because we've taken Snoke out of the equation now. We haven't got a big baddie, so they're obviously trying to get Kylo Ren as the big bad guy. If they used that scene to make Kylo Ren overpower and defeat Luke and kill him that way, wouldn't have changed the story. But now we fear Kylo Ren. Now he's a big bad guy. As it is now, he's still a stroppy teenage type character. Is he really that scary? Yeah, he's quite powerful, but at the end of the day, Rey is pretty much just as powerful, and she's had no training. Not happy. Not happy at all. The more I think about it, and the more I talk about it, the more I get annoyed. Anything else to complain about with Luke? Yeah, he drinks alien titty milk. Fucking ridiculous.
Luke Skywalker titty milk. How long before that's in Tesco's?
Waited 2 years to see my childhood hero drink alien titty milk. Anything else?
I feel like there was.
There was. There's a lot of complaints. I've had a lot of rants with some of my friends and arguments with some of my friends, and
they showed Luke's X-Wing and then just didn't do anything about it again.
So there's no excuse for him not to go to that planet.
Yeah.
People have said
they gave him all the tools.
Yeah, people said to me he wouldn't have had time. You can't defend Luke's decision there. I'm trying to argue that the filmmakers made a poor decision. If the filmmakers had said, okay, we'll have Luke bring up his X-Wing, showing that what he couldn't do in Empire Strikes Back would be really satisfying to long-time hardcore fans. You know what? When he tries to bring the X-Wing out and he can't do it and he gives up, and then Yoda does it. Well, to see Luke actually do it and do it with ease would have been epic.
Yeah.
And then
poetic.
Yeah, and then have him fly to the planet and make it there just in time.
Yeah.
Would have been so much more pleasing.
If at this point, say they kept it all the same and Leia was still there, that's where the rest of them escape. Luke arrives as Leia gets killed, and then that just releases Luke, and then you could have such a badass moment, and then whatever could have happened, where the Kylo still managed to defeat him to bring up Kylo's power, so that even when Luke went into the dark side that made him powerful enough to defeat Vader, Kylo could then still overpower that because of what he's become like.
Yeah.
That would have set him up as the supreme leader, Kylo Ren, not screaming more fucking laser beams at Luke Skywalker. It's just like, come on, just come on.
Yeah. Even like the direction of, I've had this conversation with some friends again. There's no emotion in the film. Like even when you think Leia's dying, I wasn't like, which I feel like I think even seeing Leia should have made me feel emotional. It did in the trailer, but then I watched it in the movie and there was no emotion in it. And you've got John Williams composing, who is obviously a genius, and it still didn't do it for me.
Although maybe if I listen to stuff again or watch it again, I might pick it up. But I didn't really pick up on anything new from John Williams in this one.
No.
The only times I paid attention to the theme was just old ones brought back.
Yeah.
So it almost felt like he wasn't quite as...
Well, there was like new as in Force Awakens, like Kylo Ren's theme and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like there wasn't anything for that film that kind of...
No, nothing I picked up on.
Especially because they introduced so many new characters, you thought they would have tried to introduce some new themes.
Yeah.
Something.
Didn't really like Rose either.
I liked her, but she felt more like she should have been in Rogue One. Like she didn't deserve to be in the main Skywalker type episode. She was a Rogue One.
And was Rey jealous when he saw Finn? Like, because there's a shot of her like looking over at him. Like that made it seem like she was jealous.
Yeah, which was a bit like, but the whole Finn Rose arc was just filler.
Yeah. The only important parts of this movie were scenes that featured Rey, Kylo Ren, and Luke.
Yeah.
And
probably make a good 40-minute episode, like TV show, and get it done.
Yeah. I'd give, as a Star Wars film, I'd give this a 4 out of 10. As a film, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. If it wasn't Star Wars, I probably would have left and been like, yeah, that was pretty cool. Because it's Star Wars, it was a massive, massive letdown, and I'm hurt. Rian Johnson, you have hurt me.
But the issue is the second one is always bad.
Empire Strikes Back?
No, generally in film, though, like that Empire Strikes Back is what everyone tries to do. But usually the second film is always bad.
Yeah.
And they've fallen back into that, despite the fact they're the film that set the precedent of how to do a good one.
Two Towers.
It's just... Yeah, but like we said ourselves, like Lord of the Rings is different because you get a director who's created the entire thing. They filmed all 3 films as one, which in my opinion is how they should make trilogies. You should do it as though it's a big film, and then you cut it up. Because then you've got the same input throughout the entire thing. All the performances should be the same, like should actually develop. Yeah, consistent. That's what I was looking for. Consistent, and that's how you should do it. Not get different directors on different episodes with different screenwriters.
And have slow motion in Star Wars.
It's just...
Thank you. Looked great. Looked amazing. It's not Star Wars. So, okay, I think that's enough. That's quite long.
Okay, there's only one more bonus thing. Because you didn't notice, or you kind of noticed, and I think I noticed, but if anyone else can tell us, at the very end, when Finn, I think it is, pulls out a jacket from the drawer, are the books, the Jedi original books, in that drawer on the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, so did they not actually get destroyed by Yoda?
Did Rey take them first? Like that's kind of a second viewing thing that we would need to look at.
Yeah.
But we think that was the case. So that would also seem the whole Yoda destroying the tree and Luke's big battle with the Finn is kind of pointless as well. If they're not even there.
Also, what did you think of the kid using the Force at the end? To me, it didn't do anything for me. If anything, it felt like they were, because they did the huge cop out on Rey's parents, so everyone's going to be like, well, how is she Force sensitive? So they're going, oh look, you can be Force sensitive without Jedi parents. That's how it felt. I think you can. There's no reason you can't. But it's not something that we've been shown in Star Wars, and that kind of feels like they forced that into it. Yeah. And it felt like it was supposed to be a cliffhanger, and it wasn't. Yeah. It was just...
Yeah, I felt like they were almost trying to do like the Luke staring out at the sky thing, but
we don't know
with a
kid
that you don't know,
so we don't care.
Been in it for 5 minutes on a story part that doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Okay, is that us wrapping it up there?
Yeah.
I think. Is there nothing else now?
Probably. There's a big list, but it's going to be a long video if we carry on.
Yeah. Okay, so if you made it this far, thank you for watching the entire thing and our massive rant.
And if you enjoyed the film, sorry for ruining the experience for you by providing you with true points and valid points. Sorry.
Like we said, it's not a bad film, it's a bad Star Wars film.
Yeah.
That's probably the better way to put it. If you're a big Star Wars fan, it didn't live up to the hype at all.
If you really know and understand the characters, and you, especially if you understand filmmaking, there was a lot of poor decisions. If you're just in it to enjoy it, enjoy the spectacle, enjoy the epic film, you probably love it, and that's fine. I don't hate you for it. But you're wrong. Sorry.
And subscribe and subscribe and subscribe.
No, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but it didn't do it for me as a lifelong, huge Star Wars fan.
This is definitely a topic we would love to have a debate with in the comments below. So if you agree, disagree, any of the points we've missed, please put them below, and would actually really like to have the conversation, because if people can persuade us that this is a great film, we'd love that.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, please make us think that our points are wrong. Prove to us that we're wrong and we're stupid and it's actually a perfect Star Wars film.
Do a Snoke and manipulate our minds, but don't go and die within 2 minutes.
Die and be really disappointed.
Yeah, with his tongue out.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to comment and just call us dickheads, that's also fine. We don't care. Just let's talk about Star Wars. Thanks for watching. Merry Star Wars Christmas. Even though it's not that merry.
Live long and prosper.
See you later, guys.
That's definitely unsubscribing.